Sorry. This meeting's being recorded, by the way. And feel free to show us your picture or not. Turn on your camera, whatever works best for you, since it is being recorded. Anyway, yes, going back to this is the second in a two-part series of workshop on you made it this far, now what? So we want to we know that the semester is coming to quickly to an end, and we want to make sure that you have a productive summer, whether you're in a job, whether you're in internship, or whether you're going to summer school. So these tips and guidance that you'll get today is something that you can use throughout your summer. You can practice, and it'll just help you on your journey for your next step. So we're excited to have our speakers here, and we're excited to share this information with you. So what we're going to do, as you can see, we have two topics for today. One is on informational interviewing / networking. So we're going to touch on both subjects. And the second one is on how to have a standout internship. And some of you may have already been on internships before, so we'll be looking for your input as well. Okay, I want to just take an extra minute to just tell you that there have been several people who have been a part of this, several colleges that are involved, and I just wanted to shout out to them. We have from San Diego Mesa College, Carole Thompson. From Santa Ana College, Mayra Perez. Yay! From PALOMAR College, Angelique Ehle. And SKYLINE College, Amber Gougis. And of course, Marina Gonzalez from OHLONE College. So just excited that we could have come together and put this on for you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and introduce the speaker. And okay, so our speaker for this first workshop is Gabrielle O'Malley Jr. And Gabrielle is the account manager in media productions at LinkedIn. Pretty cool, huh? We're already impressed, Gabrielle. But he has over 10 years of strategic partnership, media production, and instructional design experience. And he brings an innovative and forward-thinking approach to multimedia projects and partnerships. He's a graduate of Stanford University, and that's actually where, or through that network, is where I met Gabriel. And we've worked together a couple of times in the past where he's has spoken to students at OHLONE College. I've always enjoyed working with Gabriel, and most of all, I just love his passion for working with students. And I know you guys will enjoy him this morning. Hey, Gabriel, it's your floor.
Marina, thank you so much. I appreciate the introduction. I feel like I should hire you for all my meetings, give me the introduction. So we'll talk rates later on. It's so good to be here with everybody. I'm pumped to share with you a couple cool things that I learned along my professional and academic journey, especially in information interviewing and networking. And if you're anything how I was when I was in community college, those two words scared the heck out of me. Networking, I was like, what is that? How do you do it? What are you supposed to do with it? How do you know you're doing it right? And information interviewing, I was like, hey, I got to deal with enough interviews already, like a job interview. I don't know if you want to add another one, like an information interview in there either way. But I'd like to let you know that these are two things that I think that we could begin doing today. Some of you are already doing them intuitively, but I just like to lay them out in the way that I understand them and the way that we used to give them to students before and how it was taught to me. And hopefully you could get some good gems out of it. So real quick, just to add a little bit more about my own background, I'm a first generation college student, Mexican American. My parents are from Guadalajara, Jalisco, and from Mexicali. And I remember going through my academic career and my professional journey. It kind of felt like this, like I was just blindfolded and I was just trying to figure out what to do next. I don't know if it feels like that for you guys, but it kind of still does feel like that for me in my own career. Right out of college, I graduated in 2008. So I don't know if you remember 2008, but 2008 was a really, really difficult year in the economy, and it was hard to get hired. So I actually leaned into a hobby and an interest of mine at the time, which was media production. I went to school for psychology and social science, but I leaned into media production, and I got into music video production. And believe it or not, I taught myself how to edit music videos in Adobe Premiere Pro, how to produce them, how to direct them. And then I ended up shooting music videos for MTV and BET at the time, tossing them online. And then that helped me get to graduate school. And then from there at Stanford University, a professor took a liking to me. And then he asked me if I wanted to join his lecturing team. I said, heck yeah, let's do it. So I got to teach at the School of Design for 2 years at Stanford University. We taught freshmen all the way through PhD levels. And guess what we taught them? How to design your academic career and how to design your professional career. And 2 of those things that we taught them was what I'm going to share with you today: information interviewing and networking. Because believe it or not, almost everybody I talk to does not know how to do it, 1, or 2, they want to learn how to do it because it just sounds daunting. So before we get into it, let's start with information interviewing, which is just like interviewing anybody that you would on a regular day or for a school project. In the chat, it would be really cool if you could tell me if you could interview anyone at all, an athlete, musician, an entertainer, in the past or present, who would it be? Just toss some names in the chat. I just want to see like what kind of interest we have with everybody on the call right now. I'm going to need at least 2 or 3. Tim Cook. Oh, okay, yeah, for sure. That's a good one. Octavia Butler. Who is that? Is that the actress? I don't think I know who Octavia. Trevor Noah. I got a cool story about Trevor Noah. We just did a project with Trevor Noah in December, and we got to work with them because he came and spoke to LinkedIn. He's one of my favorite guys for sure. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Oh my goodness. Oh, we got Marcus Aurelius. Oh, that's my love language right there. The Stoics, Steve Jobs and Taylor Swift. It'd be great to have both of them in the room at the same time. That'd be incredible. All right. These are really great answers for sure. All right. So for the ones that are still alive and with us in this world today, hopefully with the skills that I teach you today, down in the next few years, maybe you become an expert in information interviewing and networking. That will get you to land with an information interview with them. All right, let's dive right in. So like I said, when I was a community college student, I went to Delta Community College in Stockton, California. That's where I grew up. I remember thinking these things, and if any of these hit home, just give me a heck yeah or a +1 in the chat. But these were things that I remember thinking as a student. 1, how am I supposed to choose the right career? That's 2. There's too many careers out there. How am I supposed to pick one? 2, where and how do I find opportunities? Everybody tells me there's so many opportunities in the world, but where are they at? Because I can't even find one. What if I don't know what I'm interested in? If I don't know what I'm interested in, how do I know what I'm supposed to study? Or how about this one? This is a popular one. Everyone keeps saying, follow your passion. Oh, just follow your passion, it'll all work out. Well, what if I don't know what my passion is? Or what if I have more than one passion? Then what am I supposed to do then? What if I'm passionate about the Raiders or the 49ers? Am I supposed to go over? I'm passionate about sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. Is that supposed to be my job? Well, I don't get it. My dog is my passion. My family's my passion. I don't know. Here's a big one. What if I pick the wrong career? Ooh, what if I go to school and I pay all this money and I put all this time and years and it's the wrong career? What do I do then? Or how about this one? Everyone says, oh, I saw a lot of +1s for that one. Everyone says that I'm supposed to network. Okay, I'm in school, I'm doing the work, I'm doing the projects, and then I'm supposed to network on top of this. What the heck is networking? And how am I supposed to do it? And how do I know I'm doing right? Well, if any of those hit home, even just a little bit, I just want to let you know you're not alone. I felt like that. Many people felt like that. Many professionals that I work with still feel like this. They still, oh, that's a lot of +1s. I'm glad we're getting some +1s in here. Well, I want to tell you a few secrets there. 1, if you feel any of these, it's totally okay. It's totally cool to feel stuck, worried, or even afraid. It's good to feel those things. Many of us have felt like that. And another secret is none of us have it figured out. Right. And even if we do, if it seems like we have it figured out, we only have it figured out for now. You know what I mean? And then like couple months down the line or a year later, we're going to have to reinvent or come up with a new plan or a new 5-year plan, because it never stops. We're never going to have it all figured out. It's just we could have like the next step figured out. So that's it. So what I'm going to teach you today, what I'm going to share with you is something that you can implement immediately and every single time that you're feeling this stuff, to kind of alleviate some of that, give you information and give you like a flashlight on your head for the next step that you got to do. All right. Here we go. So let's talk about information interviewing. First of all, what is information interviewing? Well, let's talk about what it's not. It's not a job interview. All right. So that we could just start there. This is not a job interview. In a job interview, you come in, you sit down in front of somebody. Hey, are you guys hiring? And they say, no, we're not. Done. That's the end of the conversation. That's not a good information interview. There's also a power struggle in a job interview. If I go and I sit down, hiring managers looking at me and I'm trying to impress them. Hey, look at my volunteer work, look at my studies, look at my degrees, look what I did. And then they say, maybe we want you, maybe we don't. All the power lies on them. No, we take that away. On an information interview, you're not looking for a job. You're just a curious person having a conversation with somebody. Hey, Gabe, what's up? I heard you work at LinkedIn. That's interesting to me. Can I ask you, like, how'd you end up there? How'd you get there? What's going on? They're not asking me for a job. They're not asking me to do anything for them. They just want to hear my story, and I can share a little bit about that. That's all an information interview is. That's all it is. And by the way, when you sit down with somebody and have a conversation with them, even if they're brand new, you're already networking. You're already doing it. So that's already, but we'll get to that part in just a sec. Information interview is a great way to explore careers, roles, and hidden opportunities. Did you know that most jobs at all these companies, 80% of these jobs aren't even listed online? You know what I mean? Like, they're not even listed online. Like, you have to know somebody in there to say, hey, I know that this department is, they're about to open up these brand new roles, or they're looking for this intern, or they're looking for somebody who has this particular set of skills, but we haven't got to the job duties yet. So information interviewing is a way to uncover and find, like on a treasure map, like hidden gems and hidden opportunities that are out there. And then another thing that information interviews is really, really good at is just building the network. The more information interviews you have, the more connected you are. And then that just grows and grows and grows. It's like a garden. Well, let me tell you how it's conducted. When you get into an information interview, all you're trying to do is figure out what they do in the industry, what the professional does in the industry, and all the do's and don'ts, and all like the hidden secrets that they have. So I like to look at information interviewing as really like talking to your future self 10 years from now or something, right? For instance, let's say you want to work in technology, like at a company like LinkedIn, but you're not sure you want to do it. Instead of going to school 4 years, getting your degree, and then trying to make yourself appealing to get into technology, and then you finally get to LinkedIn and you're like, oh man, I hate it here. You know what I'm saying? Just wasting my time. I could have saved you a lot of time if you would just taken 30 minutes to talk to me 10 years ago. You could have talked to me. That's a way to prototype, right? So you'd be like, hey, let me ask you something, Gabe. What do your weekends look like? How's the pay? What do you really like about that job? What don't you like about that job? If you were me, what would you do differently? Do you have any advice for me? So it's a way to kind of look and test the job out, test the rollout and the company without actually committing to that. And you can do that for so many different roles and careers and companies, and it's all free 99, no fee. All right. So let's talk about what that message looks like. So we don't really know the people that we want to reach out to yet, right? So let's just say we find them on LinkedIn or on Google or on Facebook or whatever. And we say, hey, that person works at Cisco or Adobe or at Pixar or at Disney, and I want to talk to them. I'm going to send them a message. I'm going to send them an email or a direct message. Now, most people will send this message right here. Let me read you this message, and you tell me if it sounds familiar. Now listen carefully, all right? Hey, my name is Gabe. Jeremy Walker gave me your name and number and said that you were the person I really needed to talk to. I looked you up on link. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading you the wrong message. This is the message that most people send. Hey, my name is Gabe. I want you to know that I'm graduating from community college, and I have deep experience in technology, and I'm looking for a job, and I want to let you know that I can be an asset to your company, and attached is my resume so that you can check it out. Boom. It sounds pretty standard. I've written that message before, and I've seen people write that message to me too. There's only one problem with that message. One big problem, actually. The only problem with that message is that it's all trash. That's the wrong message to send. Who did I talk about in that whole entire message? I just talked about myself, right? Can you imagine if I saw you walking down the street and we don't know each other, and I flag you down? Hey, excuse me. Is that a Pixar shirt that you have on? Do you work at Pixar? Hey, let me tell you something. I work in animation. I do this, I do that. I graduated from here. I got this much experience. Let me give you my resume, and then let me know if you're hiring. You would be like, yo, excuse me, who are you? And how can, what? Do we know each other? And do I owe you something? It's a strange way to approach somebody. Now, let me give you the right message here. This is the template, and I'll make sure to send this over so that you can get these messages and the actual template to send to land an information interview. Here it is. The intro. My name is Gabe. Jeremy Walker gave me your name and number and said you were the person I really needed to talk to. I looked you up on Google or LinkedIn. Your professional experience sounds fascinating. I'm a Delta College student interested in your field. I'd like the chance to hear about your work experience and your organization's activity. May I buy you a virtual cup of coffee or meet up with masks, of course, for 30 minutes or so that's convenient to you so I could discuss, we can discuss your work and career. I would love to have a chance to hear your story and learn from your experience. Now, what's the main difference from the first message to this message? The first message was all about me, what can you do for me? This message is all about them, right? All about them. Now let's break this message down because I did a couple key things. I did like 5 key things in there that really hit home. Here it is. I said, my name's Gabe. I said, Jeremy Walker gave me your name and number. Now this is not mandatory, but if you know somebody in common, you got to start off with that. Hey, I saw you on so-and-so's page. Hey, I saw you commented on my professor's page. I saw you do this, or so-and-so told me to reach out to you. Name drop. Name dropping is totally cool. Here's the second thing. I looked you up on Google or /LinkedIn. Now I know that you looked me up intentionally. This is not a mass email, spray and pray. You're not spamming me with like, hey, here's my email. Here's my resume. Are you guys hiring? Because I've received messages like that. And I'm sorry to say, but I've actually done that too. When I first graduated from college, I'm just, everyone in my network, is anybody hiring? Please help me, you know? So I said, no, I intentionally looked you up. I looked up your profile. And then I say, your professional experience sounds fascinating. I'm like, oh, you think I'm fascinating? What a coincidence. I think I'm fascinating too. We already got something in common. See, in sales, we call that rapport. We're building rapport right there. I see you laughing right there. Yeah, I see it. But this is true. This is a real message I send. I'm a Delta College student interested. That's all I am. I'm just interested. I'm just curious. I'm not a Delta. I notice I didn't say I'm a Delta College desperately seeking for employment right now. Oh my God, you got to help me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just interested in, I think I may want to go into law, or I think I may want to go into engineering, or I think I may want to go into technology. I don't really know though, but I need some help, right? And then here, this is where it really gets good. The ask. I want to meet with you for 30 minutes, not an hour, not your whole day, not just 30 minutes. It could be a Zoom call, it's fine. And then lastly, this is the dagger right here. 30 minutes to hear your story. Let me ask you something. If you know this answer, please put it in the chat. What is the #1 topic people love to talk about? #1. Everybody loves to talk about this topic. Themselves, that's right. So let's recap. First, you know somebody I know, you looked me up intentionally, you think I'm fascinating, you're just a student that's interested, you want to meet with me for 30 minutes and talk about how awesome I am? My schedule just opened up. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, this sounds like a good idea. And let me tell you something, when you get into that information interview, you show up with your questions. Hey, I saw that you do your research on them. And it's okay to social media creep on them. Hey, I saw that you went snowboarding. Hey, I saw that you You like surfing. Hey, I see that you went to this school, or you like this sports team or whatever, or this, and you just ask. And this was going to happen. Happens every time that I do one. At some point, they're like, hey, Gabe, you know what? Enough about me. Enough about me. I want to hear about you. And that's why that's when we come in. Oh, about me? Oh, I'm just, I'm in college. Summer's coming up. I'm looking for an internship, or I'm looking for work. I don't know. I'm just trying to see like what my options are, and I'm interested. And then that's when they say, oh, you know what? You got to talk to my teammate, or you got to, I just heard about this internship that they look for, or you know what? You would be great for this team that I know, and they don't even know that they need somebody like you. You guys got to connect. And then they give you 2 or 3 other people to talk to. And then you do the same thing. You send them that message. Hey, what's up? Gabe told me I should talk to you. You sound fascinating. I want to hear your story. And then you just grow and grow and grow and grow. And before you know it, if you do 1 or 2 of these in 1 week, in 1 month, 1 or 2 a week, in a month's time, your network will be buzzing. You'll know opportunities that you never had. And you can do all this right from where you're at right now. Wherever you're at, you don't even need a laptop. You could do it from your phone. You could be on LinkedIn, on Google, looking up people. And I'm going to give you a head start, because I hope all of you connect with me on LinkedIn after this. And you can look through my contacts. And if anybody captures your attention, you let me know, and I will give you an introduction and say, hey, they're trying to connect with you. They think you're fascinating. They want to hear your story. Connect, and that's the way the world works. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal because as a first generation college student, I didn't know that it was okay to do this. I didn't know it was okay to ask. I didn't know it was okay to reach out to people and just say, I'm just curious. I just want to see what's going on. I don't want nothing from you, right? And I didn't know it was okay to ask for help, really. And if there's one thing I learned now working in the Silicon Valley and with big tech, was that everybody asks for help. CEOs have coaches. They have mentors. The executive team have like their own board and team of people that let them know, hey, don't dress like that. Hey, don't say that. Hey, that email, no. Don't say, and then they have like mental health coaches. They have physical health coaches. They have leadership coaches. They do trainings, they do everything. And all they're really good at is just knowing what they're not good at and knowing what they don't know and go asking for help. That's all we're doing. That's what networking is. All networking is asking for directions. Now, I had some videos I wanted to show you, but I think we're rolling right now. So I think we'll just send you those links afterwards, but it's going to recap everything that I just said. Now, this is networking. When people ask me to go network, I'm like, oh, here we go. Fake handshakes and, fake smiles. You're going to give me a business card I'm going to throw away. And then I'm going to ask you to do something for me. And you're not going to want to do it. And you're going to ask me to do something for you. And I'm not going to want to do it. That's networking. Wrong. That was not networking. This is networking. Let's say for undergrad, I went to San Jose State University. Let's say you wanted to go to San Jose State University and it was pre-COVID, right? So we could meet in person and everything. Let's say you come to San Jose State University, it's your first day and you're just visiting, you're just checking it out because you think you want to go there. So you say, we run into each other and you're like, excuse me, do you know where the library is? I'm looking for the library. Now, when you ask me where the library is, it would be so strange for me to say, hey, I don't know you. I don't owe you anything. Why are you bothering me? Don't ever talk to me like that again. I'm out. And then just keep going. You'd be like, wow, this guy is weird. You know what I'm saying? Like something's wrong with this guy. No, if you ask me for help, I'd be like, oh, the library? Okay, go to that far corner. It's actually the tallest building. You'll see it's called Martin Luther King Library. And when you go in, make sure you check out the coffee shop because the croissants are off the hook, right? Something like that. And then when you walk away, I wouldn't look at you and say, oh man, that person is rude. Didn't even give me a thank you card, didn't send me no roses, didn't shout me out on social media, nothing. No, I wouldn't say like that. I walk away and I feel good that I helped somebody. That right there, that's networking. If you hit my inbox, and many professionals that I know as well, if you hit my inbox and say, hey, I'm a student, I'm interested, and it's a brand new space for me. I'm trying to get some directions. Can you help me out? Like I'm trying to learn more about LinkedIn media productions or about media and big tech. I'm trying to get some information. Most people want to help. Most people want to help. Of course, not everybody. Somebody will not say anything back to you or not reply to you, but most people want to help. And that's all it is. Hey, can you help me navigate? I'm trying to make the right decision here. If you could let me know, try it out. Try it out. Just like if somebody was like, hey, I'm thinking about going to community college. If a high school student told you that, you'd be like, oh, man, hey, come here, let me give. So they might tell you one thing, but I'm going to tell you what's really happening. You know, that's what you would do. That's what we're doing too. And that's what networking is. That's all it is. The information interview. Yep. Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to show you how networking actually works. We're going to give it a shot right now. Okay, let's give it a shot. So in the chat, write down a hobby or a profession that you are interested in. So it could be anything. Hey, I want to learn how to surf. I want to learn how to scuba dive. I want to learn how to, I want to write a book. I want to learn how to edit videos, animation. So write that in there and just go ahead and just give me like 1 or 2 or 3. We're just going to try networking live right now. All right, cool. All right. Awesome. Piano, product design, sound design, web comic, all these are awesome. These are awesome topics. Acting. Cool. Piano. Ooh, tour on motorcycle. Sounds amazing. I want to do that too. Tap dance. All right. So let's pick one right here. I'm going to go with animation. So animation, who said that? Where's that? I just lost it. Alyssa. So Alyssa wants to learn about animation or is interested in animation. All right. Everyone else, not Alyssa, but everyone else, if you know anybody who works in animation or does any kind of animation for fun on the side, anything like that, if you could just raise your hand, or if you can just say in the chat, hey, I know somebody who works. Okay, someone's clapping. Who is that? Miguel? Miguel, would you mind letting us know? Do you know somebody in animation?
Yeah, I do know somebody in animation.
Perfect. So this is what we're going to do. Miguel, you're going to connect with Alyssa and you're going to give them that contact. And that's going to be Alyssa's first information interview. Is that cool?
Sounds good.
Boom. That, ladies and gents, is information interviewing and networking live. That's the way it works. And I bet you, so now what I want you to do is like everyone look at what all the topics that everybody put on there. And if you know anybody, piano, product design, webcam, acting, tap dancing, touring on a motorcycle, reach out to them and say, hey, because you could message each other privately in here. You can say, hey, I know somebody, let's connect. Here's my email. Woo, woo, woo. Now you're going to help each other network. And then once you get that email or that connection or whatever the contact information is, then you follow up with the information interview. And remember, when you get into that information interview, before you get out, say, hey, ask them 2 questions. 1 is, what would you do next if you were me? That's a big one. What would you do next if you were me? And then 2 is, do you have anybody else, 2 or 3 other people that I can talk to, that you can refer me to? And I promise you, they're going to give you at least 1 other person, and you're going to continue going and going and going. All right, so I'm going to do a couple more things. I'm going to wrap up here in about 5 minutes. I want to give you in the chat, sewing. That sounds really relaxing right now, actually. I'm going to put, let me see if I can add this in. Yeah, I can. Give me 1 second, because I'm going to add the 2 messages that I just told you about. It's the template. And that's a landline there for the youngsters that don't know. But there's, we used to have those before cell phones. Let me see here. All right, here we go. These are the 2 right here. 1 and boom. Actually, just that first one, and then click on that and then let me know if you got it. So I'd like to stop right there. And just if you have any questions, I would love to answer them. And if we got a little bit more time, I may give you just another nugget that I have. I call it waffle making. Actually, I'll just give it to you right now before getting to Q&A. So that you know that Q&A is coming up. I'm gonna give you one more thing. Last thing I want to talk to you about is my favorite thing to talk about is waffle making. I know it sounds weird, but check this out. If you've ever made a waffle in your life, you know that the first one never comes out right. The first waffle you make is always burnt, gappy. It looks sad. It's a sad little waffle. And you kind of just put that out to the side, you give it to the dog, or you're like, hey, whatever. Let's not pay attention to that one, right? But that 3rd or 4th waffle, by that time you got the right measurements, you got the right timing, you got the flick of the wrist, boom, boom, boom. That's the one that you take a picture of, goes to Instagram, or you give it to somebody you love. Now, it's very important that we use that analogy with everything else. What if you use that same mindset with your interests or your hobbies or your goals or whatever the case is, knowing that the first time around is not going to be the best one. And what you're really trying to do is you're trying to get to that third or fourth waffle. But in order to get to the one that you're really proud of, that the one that's really polished, you got to get through 1, 2, and 3 waffles first. Most people, they make the first waffle and they see that it's not that great. And they're like, I must not be good at it. Or maybe it's not meant for me. That's a lie. Don't believe that. You got to keep pushing. So, and I just want to leave you with that, because as a design, when we taught design thinking at Stanford, that is what we call prototyping. So you can prototype all these careers and everything, all these interests like that. And if it don't work out the first time, it's all good. And then lastly, right before the Q&A, what if I want to speak to that concern. What if I pick the wrong thing? What if I do an information interview? I decided I want to do that profession. And I picked the wrong thing. Well, check this out. I was listening to a video from Bishop T.D. Jakes, if you know who that is. And he said, you know, if you pick the wrong thing, just make sure that you go 100% at it, because when you reach it, even if it ends up being the wrong thing, it'll serve as a launching pad to get you to the right thing. But if you only go at it 40 or 50%, you're never going to reach that launching pad. You got to go at it 100%. Most people are doing this. Oh, I'm going to go over here. Oh, never mind. Let me go back. Oh, let me go over here. Oh, never mind. Let me go back. Oh, no. And then you just end up 5, 10 years pass by and you're in the same place. My career personally went like this. Boom, 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 all over the place. It's still going like that. So I just want to leave you with that and encourage you with those words. And I can't wait. I can't wait till you all go out there and network as I call it, and land some awesome information interviews. That's all I got.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. That was amazing. So much great energy. And even though everybody was silent, just felt it. Let's see. Does anybody have any questions? I know we don't have a lot of time, but we're open to specific questions here. Just put it in the chat or just turn on your mic and ask.
Is it okay if we connect with you on LinkedIn?
Oh, it's more than okay. I hope you do. I'm going to toss my link in there right now on the chat. And then please, I welcome all connections. And yeah, we're here to help. We're all here to help. So please let us know how we can connect you with anybody. There's my link. You can check me out. And then I look forward to hearing from you. How about we do this? If there's no other questions, you can feel free to send me a question on LinkedIn. Oh, wait, any tips on building confidence? Ooh, I have one good one. I have one good one. All right, on building confidence. So confidence is like a muscle. You have to work it out, right? So just like your biceps or push-ups or whatever, like it's gonna be uncomfortable and it's gonna hurt the first time you actually go out there and try to act confident, whatever it is. But the one thing that I do for confidence is I just act confident. I just pretend to be confident. So when I know that if I feel insecure, or what we call it is the imposter syndrome. I don't feel I really belong here. I don't feel I deserve this. I'm not really a college student. I'm not really that smart. I don't belong in tech. You know, I'm just first generation. I don't even speak English that well, or whatever it is. We hear all these voices. I go like this. Okay, we'll save that for later. But right now, I'm going to pretend that I'm the most confident person in the room. And then so I was like, and they're not going to know any difference, because if I act confident or if I am confident, those are the same thing from the outside. So I just do that. So you just keep doing that over and over. And sooner or later, you're just going to fool yourself like, oh, shoot, I think I am confident. And then later on, you're like, hey, I really am confident. It also works like when you're nervous. For instance, right before I get on here, I was like, oh man, I'm kind of nervous with, you know, I don't know if these students are going to like what I say or anything. You know what I said? I just reframed that. I say, oh, wait a minute, I'm not nervous. It feels like I'm nervous, but it's not nervous. No, I'm excited. And so I started telling myself, oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to these kids about this information interview and this networking and how, like, you know, I was in community college too. And then I just used these things intuitively. And then I got to where I'm at and they could do the same thing, you know? So Yeah, I love that question. You just got to fake it till you make it. Yeah. Oh my God, there's a lot. Any tips on building confidence? That's good. Yeah, my grandpa says, fake it. Yeah, fake it till you make it. Third grade. Yeah. What advice do you have for those who don't exactly know what career major they want to pursue? Excellent question. I advise that you try these information interviews ASAP. A good one for majors, go talk to students who are currently in that major, who are already committed. Hey, what's that electrical engineering like? Hey, what's that business major like? What's this, what's that? Go talk to the professors, go talk to the students who are graduating, talk to all of them. Yeah. Any advice for burnout? Nope. If you got advice for burnout, please let me know, because I'm gonna need that. Yeah. Right on. What about when you feel your career is really long and you still don't have any experience, just schoolwork? Yeah, if you want to say a little bit more about that, I'd love to talk about that. I just don't understand the question really. When you feel your career is really long, like far away, or you still don't have any experience, just schoolwork. Well, let me talk to the second part of that if we have time. Do we have about another minute or so? Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
So if you don't have any experience, like work experience, you can only do schoolwork. It's okay. There's two things that you can do with that. One is any project that you worked on in school, count that as experience. Hey, I led this project. Let me tell you about a time where we're in a group project and like everybody pretty much just let me down. I had to take the lead on that. And this is what I learned. And this is how I learned about facilitation. This is what I learned about leadership. This is what I learned about improvising in front of the class and meeting deadlines. All that counts, first of all. Second, you can talk to your schoolwork, and you can also talk about your volunteer work, your volunteer or things that you do on the side, a hobby. I have a YouTube channel on the side where I review like the hottest music videos, right? From the mind of a music video editor. You better believe I was talking about that in my interview. In my interview at LinkedIn, I was like, hey, okay, not only have I done this, and that, I also do this on the side. That's how I know about social media, marketing, and advertising. Hey, I'm also a musician on the side, or also I volunteer with the Boys and Girls Club or with OHLONE College or whoever the case is. And this is how I activate these types of leadership skills. They don't, I mean, in some places they want the work experience, but in other cases, they just want to know, hey, do you have the skills and did you apply them? And how did you activate them? And how are those going to transfer here? So if you could tell that story, like, hey, I had to stay up all night and I knew that I was not going to drop the ball on this group project. And even if nobody was helping me, we got it done. And I took everybody across the finish line. That's how I know I would do the same thing here. I would do it here if you hire me. I mean, they love that. Yeah. Schoolwork is experience. That's right. In terms of networking, how do you get better at improvising when talking to people in the moment? I have an answer for that, but I just want to be, how much time do we have? Okay.
Yeah, this is the last question.
Okay, I'll give it to you right here. So I'm gonna give you some real tips on this one. This is hilarious. First of all, if you have trouble, if you're like an introvert or you're not that comfortable talking to people, I'll give you some tips. So if you're in an information interview and they're talking and you just don't know what to say next, here's a trick that I use. And I'm sorry to say, but I actually use it with my fiance. I don't think she's caught onto it yet, but she'll be talking to me about her day. Hey, what's going on? Hey, and then my boss said this, and then she emailed me this, and then she CC'd so-and-so. All you gotta do is repeat the very last thing they said. So I said, and CC'd so-and-so, and she's like, yeah, can you believe that? And then she just keeps going, boom, 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 boom. And then so-and-so came in, and then they said, well, we'll talk about it on Monday. They said, talk about it on Monday? Yeah, she said, talk about it on Monday, blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, and I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, very easy. Hey, tell me more about that. Boom, they keep going. So it's like, hey, the other day I was doing this, and then I was coding, and then the code didn't come out right. And then I had to call in the project manager, and I'm like, hey, that's all foreign to me. And I'm like, wait, you called the project manager? Say a little bit more about that. Oh man, so the project manager had to come off from the other department, blah, 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 blah. And I just keep going. So just with those two things, I can go in loops forever. Just boom, 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 right? And then, or honestly, just ask questions is my big one. It was like, and just be curious. Like if they say something that I don't know, I'm like, hey, honestly, that's brand new to me. What the heck does that mean? You know, what's a project manager? And what do they even do here? I don't know what a project manager is. Like, oh yeah, okay, well, let me tell you about that. Okay, so that's another thing too. I used to act like I knew everything, and I was afraid to let somebody know that I didn't know nothing, that I didn't know what they were talking about. Now I'm just, oh no, that's, people love to share information and feel like they gave you some information or helped you learn. So if you say, I don't know what video editing means, I don't know what that means. Oh, let me break it down for you. So it's like a puzzle, right? So you take this, it's like a strip, and they cut it, and then blah, 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 but it's all digital. People love that stuff. Yeah. So just like that. I see a lot of LOLs. I hope some of this stuff is entertaining. It's all true story though. Just don't tell my fiance. That's our deal right there. Right.
All right. Thank you so much. And just, you're just so encouraging and just been so much fun, just helping students be more empowered and ready to go out there, inspired to go out there and do their informational interviews and networking. And
Yeah.
so thank you for that, and just helping people feel like, hey, I could do it. So really appreciate it, Gabriel, and can't say enough.
Hey, thanks so much for having me. Good luck with the rest of your workshops. And please do connect. And if I can help, please let me know. I put my link in there for LinkedIn, and also the template of the message. Feel free to use it verbatim. Just switch out the names if you'd like. And then you should have 2 videos of everything we talked about that we created at the School of Design. We created those. So hopefully I could get them over to you. All right, everybody, take care.
Bye, thank you.
Gabe.
You.
Thank you.
Oh man, I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up, guys.
He was funny.
It was fun, really
Yeah.
fun. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Now you can see
Mayra,
why I
you
was
got
so
this.
excited.
Got this.
Right.
I was
Out
really
of
excited.
curiosity, for students, or I mean everyone, do we want to skip the break and just push through?
Yes.
All right.
I say
think
yes.
so.
Okay, cool. All right, so let me share this with you. So I'm gonna try, guys. I don't know if I can keep up with the energy, but I'm gonna try. But
So
I have to say that a lot of what he said is gonna build off of this is gonna build off of that. So make sure you pay attention, because it does have a lot of good info. Because once you finish that networking interaction and say that one networking opportunity that you had leads to an actual internship, which a lot of times it really does, guys. It's not sometimes about what you know, but who you know. And you land that internship, we're going to dive into the internship 101 of the do's and the don'ts once you are there. Now what? So before I start, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mayra Perez, and I'm the Student Support Specialist at Santa Ana College. I am in the similar role as Marina and Angelique and Carole, so hello to those students who I don't know. I'm also here if you need to connect with me or anything, and I hope you guys enjoy this. So Internship 101. So again, internships are about learning and gaining experience, and I think something that Gabriel said that definitely resonated with me, because it happened to me, is the same thing with like informational interviews and internships. When you're there, it is an opportunity for you to see, like, is this what I want to do? Is this what I expected? What does it match the idea that I have in my head? Is it even better than what I expected? So you really want to make sure that when you are picking people's brains and connecting with them and networking, or when you have an internship opportunity, you make sure that you make the most of it. You learn and you gain experience. As you know, as I just mentioned, you get to see what it's like to work in the field that interests you. So make sure you take this opportunity to really understand what you're getting yourself into. And then make the connections that can help you in the future. So let me move this little bar here. Sorry. Okay, this way. Nope, this way. Okay. Oh, just sorry. Okay, so you want to make sure that before you even start, so once you land your internship, you want to make sure that you set up goals. The probability of once you're at your internship that they're going to have guidelines and projects or goals for you to accomplish, that's usually a given. They will have a set of things that they want you to do. However, it's always important to really think about, okay, I've landed this internship, but what do I want to learn? What are my goals? What's a skill that I want to pick up? What is something that I want to take away from this experience? Really kind of already set your your goals up before you even start, so you can make sure that you make the experience worthwhile. You want to make sure that if it's, whether it's a specific skill or even just networking, for some people an internship doesn't work out. Maybe it's a career that I want to go into. At least you can network, because again, even if it's not a place where you want to end up working or whatever it may be, networking is a huge opportunity. So whether your goal is to network or learn a specific skill, set these goals up so you have them in the forefront of your head, and that way when you're going through your internship, you make sure to keep these things in mind. Okay, next one. Don't sit idly. If you have, so as an intern, you're going to be given different tasks, projects, work to do. If you've completed a task or an assignment, make sure you are proactive, everyone. Ask for more work. The thing that you do not want to do is complete an assignment that you've been given and then go onto your phone and just be like, or not even say anything, or have them come up to you and say, hey, have you finished the project? No, be proactive. You want to show that you're a go-getter, that you are, that you can hustle, that you are able to manage, the things that they're giving you. So you want to make sure that once you've completed a task, show that you're reliable and can be trusted to complete your task, because it really does speak volumes about the type of future employee that you can be. If it's the type of case where they're like, what, we don't have anything at this moment, take it upon yourself, instead of just sitting there waiting for something to come up to your desk. Take it upon yourself to do more research about the company. Go ask other employees, hey, do you need assistance on this project or on this on this assignment? Make yourself useful, make yourself show yourself to be a good worker. Don't freak out when you have the big boil the ocean type of project. So what the heck do I mean by boil the ocean? If someone were to ask you, how could you boil the ocean? I mean, the ocean makes up what percentage of the earth? Like 70 something percent. It's ginormous. How could someone ever boil the ocean, right? It seems like an idea that's way too far-fetched. You at an internship might be given a task or a project to work on that seems like way too impossible, right? Don't freak out if you get this kind of project. These projects are built that way for a purpose. Sometimes, most of the times when there's a project of this magnitude, CEOs take months and months or weeks and weeks or years sometimes working on projects like these with help from other people. The reason sometimes that they throw these type of projects at you as an intern is to really see how you handle stress, how you handle pressure, how you deal with ambiguous problems. Don't stress out about having the right answer. It's more so they like to observe to see, okay, how does this student or how does this intern tackle the problem? What kind of, brainstorming techniques do they have? What, ideas are they coming up with? Like, they're basically taking a look at those things. So I wouldn't necessarily freak out about having the right answer or perfect answer, but it's more so showing like how you're proactive with a problem that you're given to solve. So if you're at a internship, make sure you don't forget about that. I saw a hand raised from Angelique.
Yeah, no, that is such good advice. I had a student just recently secured an internship, but she was kind of freaking out, like you said. And the advice I gave her was, they've already seen your resume. They've already invited you in for the interview. You already made it past that phase. They know what you can and can't do. So stick with that, and you wouldn't have made it that far if not.
Exactly. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Do try to meet as many people as possible. Obviously, this goes hand in hand with what Gabe was saying. I cannot stress enough, I'm not saying that, not knowing is not good, but a lot of times it is not what you know, but who you know that gets your foot in the door. So that is why it is hugely important that once you land that internship, make it a priority to go meet people at these internships. Find people in your office who, you know, have 10 years experience, 5 years experience, 20 years experience. Connect with them. People who seem interesting to you, people who are, you know, hold a position that you would like to reach one day. Connect with them. You know, Gabe made a said, you know, have a virtual coffee with them, have lunch if once we're back in person, an email conversation, whatever it may be, but connect with these people, because again, you never know what kind of advice, insight they can be giving you. It's another way for you to be able to see, like, okay, you know, this is a title that I would like to achieve one day, but man, after talking to this person who's been in this position for like 15 years, I don't know, maybe I need to like expand my horizons or look another way, or, you know, see what else I can do. Or maybe they just further confirm, okay, this is exactly what I've been looking for. This is what I want to do. Now, what steps did this person take, so I can kind of see, you know, how it would look like on my journey. So connect with as many people as you can. And on top of that, you never know how, you know, you might be able to tap into them in regards to having like a reference letter written for you. Or a lot of times it's happened to me, no joke. I want to say maybe at least 2 jobs that I've had in my life, I've gotten them because I met a person, connected with them, and months later, like, you know, we were at our different jobs, but months later, they reached out to me and said, "Hey, Mayra, you know what? This position came up and I thought of you and I thought you'd be perfect for it. You should apply." And that's how I ended up getting the job. So trust me, connect with as many people as you can, because at the end of the day, it's not what you know, but who you know. So do have a growth mindset. This is a big one too. When you are at your internship, again, it's an opportunity for you to grow, expand your skills. So make sure that as an intern, you are flexible, you can adapt, allow yourself to be coachable. What do I mean by that? You know, if a supervisor or a mentor is telling you, "Hey, you know what? I see that you're, you know, going about the project this way. How about trying to go about it this way?" Or how, you know, I would suggest you take a look at this, or I recommend, you know, open yourself up to being willing to listen and learn, because that's how you're going to learn. You know, companies are assessing your fit. How do people like working with you? Do you adapt successfully to the norms of the company? Are you productive with others' times? Do you have an attitude that makes the environment better? It was funny because I remember this one time I was talking to I forgot what the person did. They were at a different company, and they were telling me, you know, as a they were a coach, a recruiter coach or something. And they said, one of the things that I look for in people, it's not so much their experience or what they know or what's on their resume, but I think about, if I were on a business trip with this person and I was caught in a snowstorm at an airport and I had to be stuck with this person for 6 straight hours, could I stand to be like hanging out with them? And I'm like, very interesting. So again, so make yourself approachable and coachable, and, you know, kind of work with being able to go with the flow of where you're placed. And with this being said, we have a question for you. In 1 or 2 words, if you guys could put it in the chat, what do you feel you bring to the table? So let's just say, and we're, you know, you don't have to be super specific about like, well, what type of internship would I be placed in? No. You know, let's just say you were given an opportunity to interview with something, or even you're, you know, networking in the elevator, right? You have your 5-minute elevator or 5-second elevator pitch. If someone were to ask you, you know, why should I hire you? What is something that you think you would bring to the table? Out of curiosity, can you put that in the chat for me?
And Mayra, if they are, I don't know if they're driving or they can't put it in the chat, is it okay for them just to say it?
Yeah.
Unmute?
Sorry.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm. High spirits. Oh, that's a good one. Effective communication. Flexible to take on responsibility, commitment, creative, work ethic, detail oriented. Ooh, okay. You guys have some good ones here.
I love the work ethic. That's huge.
Yeah. Passion,
Mhm.
reliable. Honestly, that reliable one too is a big one. I can't tell you how many times I've been in various positions where we had someone calling out all the time, and everyone knew that when it came down to working on projects or things like that, they would kind of cringe when they would hear someone's specific person's name, because they would know, oh great, if I'm paired with this person, they're gonna eventually either not be here, or I'm gonna get stuck with all the work. You don't want to be that person. So dedication, open to learn, determined, technical communication skills. I love it. Okay, well, thank you for sharing, everyone.
Awesome.
Reliable. I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So remember those things, keep those in your mind when you have an opportunity to network, when you have an opportunity to once you're in your internship, keep those in mind. Um, Next one, don't make a bad impression on your supervisor. This is a huge thing. As you know, internships tend to run for a semester or so. They might be a little longer, a little shorter, but usually a semester. So you want to make sure that during that semester, you are showing yourself to be dependable and responsible during this short period of time. What does that mean? Show up on time. And when I say don't leave early, I also don't mean like don't sacrifice yourself to be the person to stay late to all the time or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean is, don't be also so eager to just be like, I'll go home early, like I'll be the person that goes home early. No, like make sure that you dedicate the adequate time that's required of you and expected of you. Stay off your phone and social media. I know that seems to be a very like general 411 duh type thing, but honestly, a lot of times, I mean, these lovely little phones and social media can get really intoxicating. And before you know it, you catch yourself on your phone without even realizing it. Make sure especially once we start to go back into like somewhat normalcy and we're back in offices or, campus and stuff, make sure you're aware of those things. And something else in regards to social media, which I'm sure you guys have heard many, many times before, but I don't think it hurts to mention again. Be aware, and this is building off actually the speaker from last week, who was a recruiter and who was doing the mock interviews with students. She herself mentioned, like, we look at social media accounts. Companies do these things. They do their, they creep on you. So please make sure you are, be aware of what you're posting on social media. If you need to put it on private, put it on private. But just remember, things that once it's out there, like it is out there. I can't tell you, I don't care what app says that, it doesn't store things or it doesn't, it erases things. Things are never erased once they're online. They will come up one way or another. So please be careful with those things. Yes, Angelique. Yeah.
I was just going to say one of our students got an internship and she sent over the offer letter for me just to scan through. And there was a clause in there about privacy and, internet, things like that. So you want to make sure that if you are getting an offer letter that you need to review it and see what you are signing.
Yep. I can tell you right away, that speaker, she was, Marina, correct me if I'm wrong, Northrop Grumman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's in the chat too.
Yeah. Okay. Northrop Grumman is a huge one that a couple of our students have also had internships with them, and they're huge on issues of like social media and stuff. Because they work on classified, highly classified projects, they're very, very, very weary and nitpicky when it comes to those things. So again, just be very careful with what you post, what you do online, because it does come back to haunt you. A couple other things, you want to make sure you dress professionally. I always say this. I know right now, because we're remote and we're behind computer screens, it's a little different. But even then, I have to say, in the past year or so that we've been remote, I have seen a couple instances where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe we could, if you're going to be a speaker, if you're going to be, leading a project, even though you're behind a computer screen, maybe in your room, maybe you got bottoms on that are pajamas, like that's fine. But top up, you still want to look presentable. You want to look professional. You want to make sure that, you want to show, you want to make sure that you show your level of professionalism. And this is going to be even more so once we go back in person. I always say it's always better to kind of dress a little on the safe side, extra on the safe side, than be too relaxed, because you don't know what kind of environment you're stepping into. And then at least after the first day that, of your internship, you can either ask your supervisor what the dress code is, or you can kind of see from people who are around there, what the dress code is. But it's always good, especially on your first time around, to be a little more extra professional. And the last thing is respond to emails in a timely manner. Not just respond to emails in a timely manner, but you also want to make sure that you keep in mind that, again, emails leave paper trails. So if there are conversations that you're having with another coworker or whatever it may be, keep that in mind. Things can be, brought up online. Companies can, if they want, I'm pretty sure I've read it in a couple contracts that I've had in the past. They can look to see what your activity is on their computers, through their email servers. So just please be aware of that. Be aware of what you're writing in these emails between, you and coworkers or other interns, or even things that you're sending out through your work email. And make sure that you respond to emails in a timely manner, as I mentioned before. You want to make sure that, especially nowadays, because a lot of times telephone calls seem to not be so much in the norm, and now it's more so emails. You want to make sure that you're, consistently checking in. You don't want to have like a week's time pass before you answer your supervisor or your mentor or your professor, or even, anything like that. You want to make sure you respond in a timely manner. And in the chat box, I have a couple suggestions. Actually, Marina had said, carry a notebook. It shows that you're engaged, and it impresses your supervisor, especially in the beginning. I completely agree with that. Show that you're engaged, show that you're taking notes, show that you're taking this seriously. And then Carole said, neutral attire, do research and know the company culture. That's a big one too. As we know, I feel it's more so like the tech companies, they seem to be a bit more relaxed in their, type of work attire. But nonetheless, you want to make sure, ask the supervisor, ask, whoever it may be. And then for email etiquette, that's a good one. Google email etiquette. Google answers a lot of questions here. So you want to make sure you take a look at that as well, if you have kind of questions or concerns about that. Sorry. And then don't forget to thank your supervisors. I think, I have to be better at this too, because I have had instances where I end something and then I don't do it's not so much a follow-up, but like what do we call it, Marina? Our meetings after?
A debrief.
A debriefing. There we go. I'm really bad about debriefing, and that's something that I know I need to work on. When you complete an internship or a job or whatever it may be, but especially an internship, don't forget to thank your supervisors or mentors. Show your gratitude to them. End the internship with like a thank you card or an email. Trust me, it goes a long way, especially if you had like a great experience. Even if you didn't, just end it amicably. But even more so if you had a great experience. Again, it just shows your appreciation for their time, for their trust in you, for their belief in you that, I think this student would be a good match for us. Again, it just leaves everything nice and neat. So that way, if you do ever, need to ask in the future for like a reference or anything like that, they remember these things go a long way. So make sure that you always show your gratitude. I saw something. Hold up. How do I pull up the bar? There we go. Yeah, or the exit interview. There you go. Thank you, Carole.
And Mayra, do you
yeah.
think some of the students that are on here probably have internships, had internships in the past? I was wondering if they could just put in the chat or just talk out loud, like something that they
Yeah.
were really served them well in their internship, something they did that was really was a good thing and
Yeah,
that they
if I can
suggested.
have, that's a great suggestion. Let me stop this share because this, I believe, is my last slide. Yeah. So students, if we can have you in the last couple minutes here, share something from maybe a previous experience or internship, or I know a couple of you who have even been in positions where you're like a supervisor, stuff like that. I can already see right now, right off the bat. Something that you either did yourself or something that you noticed from another coworker or employee or student, intern, or anything like that, that you thought, wow, I should do this next time, or wow, that's a great idea.
It doesn't have to be a paid internship. It could be an unpaid.
Yeah.
Internship.
Just
I have something.
Yeah, Miguel, that's funny because you were the first person that came to mind. Go for it.
So I've had employees before, and I worked retail, and I think the best thing is to always leave, like you said, with giving thanks to, your career, and especially if you're going into a certain career, you never know who you're going to run into. Especially in retail, you run into people constantly from one store to another. And just because you think you're leaving one job, don't think you're ever not going to see them again. You potentially will run into these people over and over again because you're in the same career.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for that. That is awesome. That's too funny. I automatically thought of you, Miguel. Anyone else? Oh, I see a hand raised.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, so I at my past internship, one of the best things that definitely came out of it was making those connections. I still have those connections and I communicate with them once in a while, and it's been really a great thing to do because it's given me opportunities to, interview and learn about different assets or skills that would be beneficial to my career. So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely connect.
Keeping those connections alive too. I saw another hand raised. Thank you for that.
That was me, Mayra. Is it
Oh,
okay
there
if
we
I
go.
can?
Sorry. Yeah, I was like, who was it? I don't remember. Thank you. Yes.
Hi, everyone. I'm Denise from OHLONE College. And at my previous internship, there were 3 things that my boss / supervisor had mentioned, things that he tends to look out for. And it was if the employee is humble, hungry, and people smart. And I can't remember which book this is based off of. It's a very popular book. I think it's like the 5 things that make a great team player. And so, of course, it depends on every company, what's the culture like. But I feel that that's actually something that I've always kind of done throughout my life. And it just so happened that it meshed well with this supervisor. So again, it's to always be humble, right? Come from a place of humility, and not in the sense of like you think lowly of yourself, but just think of yourself less and just like be grateful, that gratitude aspect. 2, hungry, always willing to learn, be flexible, have a growth mindset, like Mayra said. And then 3, to be people smart. I think Mayra, you alluded this too, and it kind of goes with Gabriel, like show genuine connection, try to make those connections. It's not always about the technical skills if you're going into STEM, it's about who you know. So humble, hungry, and smart.
I love that. Thanks so much. That was great. Oh, and then we have one from Alyssa. Let's see. I learned in previous opportunities, you should reach out and make the most of it. As this way you learn more. Make the most of these opportunities, not just skills. Showcase you. Wait. showcase that you are more than the bare minimum. So exactly. Again, you never know who you're going to meet, or what's that one famous quote? I think it's by Maya Angelou, I think. I could be completely wrong, so don't beat me up for this. But the one that says, people won't remember what you said, but they'll remember what you made them feel, and it's so true. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people, even like in my experience, they won't remember maybe necessarily projects that I work on, but they're like, Mayra, you're always very like willing to be work on a team, or willing to take on a project, or willing to do this. And so again, and those are things from like people that I've connected with who I haven't seen in years, but have worked with in the past. So we sincerely mean it. Make a good impression, especially during these quick opportunities that come around, because you don't know if it's going to end up leading to a permanent position, which a lot of times it does. And these are the opportunities both for the employers to see if they see you as a long-term employee, or if for you to be like, okay, this is just not for me, but I've learned so much. So and then Angelique. Oh, Zara, thank you for confirming it was my Angelou.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Thank you, girls. And then Angelique, I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Exactly. So keep that in mind through your internship experiences. So that
Can I add one more thing, Mayra?
Yeah. Go for it.
Also, I know we've been talking about like speaking to your higher ups and kind of making a great impression, but also keep in mind that sometimes your coworkers will end up in a position or in a different job where they can hire you, and they will keep you in mind. So always keep everyone like in mind and treat them, with the same respect that you do, whether it's a higher up or like someone that's under you. You never know where they're going to end up.
Exactly. And that's really funny that you bring that up, Miguel, because that was a point that I was going to put on the PowerPoint, but I ended up taking it out for some reason. But yes, make friends with your coworkers, with fellow interns, because again, you obviously are both there for a reason. So that means you have some sort of connection or common interest, whether it be that field or that company, or something brought you both there, or you and others there. And so you want to make sure connect with them just like you would connect with someone who's been at that company that you want to learn more of. Because again, you never know where you guys are going to be going off. And a lot of times, that's, again, I always kind of refer back to my experiences because I've gone through it. But, I've had moments where I've had come up with, where I've heard of an opportunity, and because I remember, a fellow coworker or a fellow intern, I will reach out to them and say, hey, like my company is currently hiring for this. If you want, go ahead and apply, and I can give your name to the supervisor. So again, these connections are hugely important as well. And when in doubt, ask. Exactly.
I could expand on that just a little bit. That
Yeah.
goes in a lot of ways. Like, for example, you might feel like, oh my gosh, how do I prioritize all this work? I want to make a good impression that I can do everything. And, you just sometimes have to say, well, I want to be good at what I do too, and I want to learn. So let me ask for help. It's okay to ask your supervisor to help clarify what it is that you should be doing first, because it is a learning process. You don't already have to have it figured out. The other thing is that sometimes we get into that self-doubt mode and we think, oh my gosh, they don't like us anymore. Or why aren't they not doing that? Why aren't they telling me to do, giving me a new assignment? What did I do wrong? And we just get into our own thinking, our, overthinking, I guess. So before you get there, before you go there, just say, well, how did I do? Or what can I do differently? Or, um, how can I help? Like somebody said, but just try and get feedback before you start trying to interpret it yourself.
Yeah, I agree. Great advice. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, anyone has any questions, feel free to write them in the chat. But if not, that concludes my portion of it. We're so excited for all of you. Honestly, for those who already have locked in an internship, for those who are prepping, for those who are taking courses to build those skills to be able to apply for a next round of internships or whatever it may be, whether you have one lined up or not. We hope that this workshop helped you to pick up some skills, to keep some things in mind for when you're ready to roll and you're in that internship position. We know you guys are going to do great. The fact that you're just here and you're willing to listen and learn is already a big step. So thank you guys thanks to all of you for joining us today. Marina, I will hand it off to you here.
Okay, sure. I have nothing more to add. Carole, feel free. Angelique, feel free. We've really enjoyed getting you all together, sort of multi-campus approach to a workshop. Not sure what we're going to do next year, but have a great summer and good luck with your finals.
Yes.
Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
Have a great
Have a good one.
weekend.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.